The future of XRP just took a big hit, and the reason may come as a surprise. Former President Donald Trump just did something that could change everything for the cryptocurrency. If you've been following XRP, you know how important it is for digital payments and that it's still in a fight with the SEC. But now Trump has done something that has brought in a whole new level of doubt. People who own XRP are all asking what this means for the future of the coin. As the news spreads quickly, how could someone like Trump have an effect on a cryptocurrency that many see as a major player in the market? Trump has always had a big impact on politics and the economy, but now his actions are making waves in the cryptocurrency world. Many people may not have thought he would have a direct effect on XRP, but it's becoming clear that his recent words or actions have put the cryptocurrency in a dangerous situation. This doesn't feel like just another policy release or regulatory change. It feels different. It looks like Trump's role has made investors less confident and sent shockwaves through the market. XRP was already having a hard time with its legal battles, but this sudden turn of events has made things even worse. So what happened and why is everyone talking about Trump's part in XRP's demise? In this video, we'll break it all down and talk about how Trump's actions have affected XRP and what this means for its future. It's a story of political influence in the market, what happened and what might happen next for XRP. Stay with us as we go into the specifics of what's going on right now and what it might mean for people who already own XRP and people who want to buy it in order to understand how Trump's actions have affected XRP. Before we go any further, let's look at where XRP was before everything started to happen. XRP is one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies, especially because it helped make cross-border payments possible and had strong ties with Ripple Labs. It wasn't always the best performer in the crypto space, but it had made a name for itself as a reliable digital asset with a strong following of supporters and investors. However, XRP had been facing its own problems. Most notably, its XRP holders and investors have been looking for any sign of progress in the case with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for months. They wanted to know if the coin would be considered a security. This lack of legal security had already caused some price changes, which were often linked to what was happening in court. XRP also had to deal with regulatory issues because governments and financial institutions started to pay more attention to how cryptocurrencies could be used in the regular financial system. Despite these problems, XRP was still showing signs of strength. Its price stayed the same, and it kept building relationships with banks and payment processors, tools that were important to its long-term goals. XRP seemed to be slowly moving in the right direction, and many people thought it was about to become big once the legal problems were over. But then Trump got involved, and his words or actions have thrown a wrench in the plans that XRP and Ripple had been carefully making. But how exactly? Why did this happen? And what did Trump do to have such a big effect on the crypto market? The next part of this video will go into more depth about Trump's part in this sudden turn of events, and look at how his influence might affect XRP's future. Stay tuned as we break down the events that led to this shocking change. So what did happen? What did Trump do to make such a fuss in the XRP community? To put it simply, his recent actions or statements have caused investors and crypto fans alike to feel more uncertain and scared. While Trump hasn't directly done anything drastic with Ripple or XRP, his influence has had a big impact on the political and regulatory landscape as a whole. Issues related to coins. Trump's recent comments or proposals about regulating cryptocurrencies seem to have been the main cause. In a surprising move, he directly criticized the rise of digital currencies like XRP, saying that he was worried about how they might affect the U.S. financial system and how they could potentially hurt the U.S. dollar. Trump has talked about cryptocurrencies before, but his most recent comments have been much harsher, and that's where things get interesting. Trump has always been a big deal in politics, and when he speaks, people pay attention. His recent comments have caused people to worry about stricter rules or even possible bans on some cryptocurrencies. Investors in cryptocurrencies are now worried that this could mean even more regulatory pressure on XRP and other altcoins. If Trump pushes for policies that make it harder for cryptocurrencies to operate freely, it could stop Ripple's plans to enter the U.S. market, which would have a big impact on XRP's value and position in the market. What worries people who own XRP more is that with the current administration's focus on financial stability and regulation, Trump's position could encourage other lawmakers to take the same stand. People are now worried that Trump's power could lead to a wave of laws that make it harder to use cryptocurrencies. Because people are afraid, XRP and other altcoins have dropped in value as buyers rush to protect their money. Stocks from possible crackdowns by regulators. The market's response to Trump's comments was quick and strong. The price of XRP dropped sharply as investors rushed to get their money out of the market because they thought regulators would crack down. The combination of negative sentiment and uncertainty about what will happen next has made many people wonder if XRP can return from as this shocking event plays out. Everyone is wondering if Trump's actions will continue to hurt XRP, or if this is just another setback for the strong cryptocurrency. In the next part of this video, we'll look more closely at the bigger effects this could have on the cryptocurrency market and what XRP holders can expect going forward. Now that we know how Trump's words have changed XRP, let's take a step back and look at how his actions have affected the cryptocurrency market as a whole. An abrupt regulatory threat, especially one backed by a powerful person like Trump, doesn't just affect one cryptocurrency, it affects the whole market. What do his recent comments mean? Being felt by investors and traders all over the crypto world. For starters, the market usually reacts right away to talk of stricter regulations. For example, when Trump criticized digital currencies, the prices of many altcoins, not just XRP, dropped sharply. Investors became less willing to take risks, taking their money out of coins that might be harmed by stricter law enforcement. In some cases, investors moved their money to more stable cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which is often seen as a better bet during times of uncertainty. This is a common response when people are scared. People in the market want to protect their capital from any possible problems. But XRP isn't the only cryptocurrency that could be affected. Other cryptocurrencies, especially those that are still developing or that depend on clear regulations, could also have problems because it is still in court with the SEC. Ripple and by extension, XRP are very exposed if the things Trump says make people want stricter rules. Ripple might not be able to work freely in the US anymore.